Good day, everyone, and to our seamanship instructor, Captain Leo Arcayos, and the two of us. Today, I'm with Midshipman Martiliano. Today, we are going to talk about the basics of damage stability determination in relation to SOLAS Chapter 2-1, criteria and damage stability. So, I'm going first to be explain everything, no? Istoryaan na to. The criteria and damage stability. So I am Midshipman Esclano, by the way. So let's get started. So first, basic of damage stability determination in relation to SOLAS chapter 2-1. Damage stability is the study of a vessel's ability to remain afloat and stable after sustaining damage that causes flooding of one or more watertight compartments. So, gingon diri na kani ko ng determination, damage, basics of damage stability, kay study ko nun ni siya to ship ko nun na maka-remain afloat even though na nakasustain na siya damage and naka-cause of flooding bisag asa na watertight compartments, no? The International Convention for the Safety of Life at Sea, or SOLAS chapter 2-1, establishes a criteria to ensure that ships have sufficient stability to survive specific damage scenarios. This requirement aimed to enhance the of ships, their crews and passengers. So, ang gingon diri na kinahanglan kuno ang ship na ay sufficient na defense, or even as para lang makasurvive siya any specific damage scenario, no? Magkinahanglan og sufficient stability ang usa ka ship. So first, we have the key principles of damage stability. Number 1, watertight integrity and subdivision. When we say watertight integrity, kuha na siya kanang bulkhead ninyo o watertight door unsa ba na saan ako dapit. So number 1, watertight integrity and subdivision was kung moingon ta og watertight integrity means to say ito mga bulkhead, watertight doors, dili madali masudlan og tubig, and subdivision means to say na subdivide ang mga compartments and bulkheads para dili mausa og sulod sa tubig, no? Dili then ma-flooding. So, ships are designed with watertight bulkheads and compartments to limit the extent of flooding in case of damage. So, ang ang barko kuno kay naka-design kuno siya with watertight bulkheads, like dili jud pwede or bisag gamay man lang makasud ang tubig, and also the compartments para malimit ang extent or asa kutob ang flooding, no? In case na mabuslutan sa asa ba na sa starboard, sa port side, no? And the subdivision of the ship into watertight compartments ensure that the vessel can remain afloat and stable even if a certain compartment are breached. So as what I've said about subdivision, nagbahin-bahin siya mo na dili dayon ug kung ibutang man nato nasa starboard side and naa dira naka compartment na subdivision siya, dili dayon masud ang tubig. Naay tendency na dira ra siya na part masudlan og tubig, dili dayon mukatag. Number 2, floodable length. Sa ako ang nasabtan ng floodable length, asa kutob, no? Asa kutob ang mabaha sa atong basahon. Okay? The floodable length is the maximum length of the ship that can be flooded without causing the vessel to sink or lose stability. Maximum length means to say asa kutob, no? Pwede ma-flood. The positioning of watertight bulkheads is determined based on floodable length calculation. So sa paggama pa lang aning ship, ilan na dyan ang gi-calculate kung asa sila pwede mabutang anang mga watertight bulkheads, no? Compartments. Of course, na po na sila gisunod sa SOLAS. So, number 3 is stability after damage. The ship must maintain a sufficient positive stability or measured by the metacentric height or GM, righting lever GZ after flooding. So masukod siya kung ma-maintain ba positively ang stability sa ship once na ma-damage siya, no? So next is we have SOLAS chapter 2-1, key criteria for damage stability. So like naay mga key o like na sila'y malistahan kung unsay kuan for about damage stability. So number 1, we have applicability. The damage stability requirements under SOLAS chapter 2-1 apply to passenger ships. Example, ferries, cruise ships, no? Mga kuan naay mga pasahero jud. And when we say applicability, ma-apply ba siya, no? Or applicable ba siya sa ana nga ship? Next, we have cargo ships over 80 meters in length. Specific additional criteria for tankers and vessels carrying hazardous cargo. Number 2, we have subdivision index of passenger ships. So the subdivision index A measures the ship's ability to survive damage. So ang kuan yung subdivision index is kuan ma-subdivide, no? Mabahin-bahin as what I've said ganiha lang, and it is calculated based on the probabilistic damage stability principle. So na sila gikuha na probability kung asa makuha ng damage, no? Considering probability of damage, no? Likelihood of damage occurring in different compartments. So ilan ang nakuan na sila ay probability na pwede dira ang madamage or dito sa pikas ang madamage. Probability of survival, ship's ability to survive damage those compartments. So ang survival or kung integrate ba kayo ang iyang kwan, no, sa ship compartments. Next is the weighing factor, mostly nakapabugat, no, about sa ship. The number of passengers exposed to risk, usa na sa mga kuan weighing factor, since na may mga passenger na jay life at risk. The vessel must achieve a minimum required index A which is specific to its type and size. So na jud siya ay masunod na kuan or like ma-achieve na required sa index A, which is the subdivision index, no, measures the ship's ability to survive damage. Number 3 is we have the extent of damage, kung asa kutob, no, ang madamage. Ito basahon. SOLAS specifies the extent of damage that the ship must withstand, no, asa makaya, no, mga extent must withstand, kung asa makaya sa ship. We have horizontal extent, damage to hull over length equal to length -20 or minimum to 3 meters. Say horizontal extent, pataas, no, paubos to pataas, mao maingon og horizontal. Vertical extent, damage from the baseline to the bulkhead deck. And next is the penetration depth sa kalawma, no? Damage extending inboard by a specific distance, usually from B5, where B is the breadth of the vessel. Kung asa there siya makuan kung sa kalawma, no? And next we have number 4, damage assumption. Ma-assume na to kung kuan sa mga nakuha na damage sa inyong ship. We have symmetrical and asymmetrical flooding. Stability as assessed for both symmetrical and asymmetrical flooding. Cases as flooding may be uneven depending on the damage location. Magdepende siya, it's either in this side, no? Since we have symmetrical and asymmetrical, no? Permeability assumption. Different permeability permeabilities are assumed for flooded spaces based on the usage. Kuha na siya, masudlan ba og tubig, no? So we have 95% for machinery spaces, 60% for cargo holds, and 85% for passenger spaces. No? Mas conjud ang passenger spaces. Of course, ang machinery kay dili man na sa tanang kuan sa passenger na magikan dyan na siya sa ubos. And lastly, number 5, stability criteria. After damage, the vessel must meet specific stability requirements, no? Not just say criteria kay kung dili mahatagan. Number 1, residual righting lever, GZ. Minimum residual GZ of 0.05 meters at an angle of flooding, no? Not just siya ay sukod. Number 2, range of positive stability. The range of positive stability after flooding must be at least 15 degrees. Number 3, angle of heel. The heel angle after flooding must not exceed 25, ensuring operational safety for passengers and crew. So, kung ma-exceed man siya, na-achieve possibility na ma-disgrasya. Number 4, area under the righting curve. The area under the righting curve must meet prescribed minimum values to ensure adequate stability. Kaya kung dili man makuha ang kuan, dili maka-ma-ensure na probability na pwede malunod. So, that's it for my explanation, and Midshipman Martiliano will continue the rest. Thank you.